Hello friends, welcome to this new tutorial. Today we'll be learning about Caring for Animals by Jon Silkin. So without wasting our time, let us read the poem. I ask sometimes why these small animals with bitter eyes, why we should care for them. I question the sky, the serene blue water, but it cannot say, it gives no answer. And no answer releases in my head. A procession of grey sheds patched and whimpering, dogs with clipped ears, whizzing cart horses, a fly without shadow and without thought. Is it with this menaces to our vision, with this procession led by a man carrying wood, we must be concerned? The Holy Land, the rearing green islands should be kindlier than this. Yet the animals are ghosts need tending to. Take in the whipped cat and the blinded owl. Take up the man-trapped squirrel up on your shoulder. Attend to the unnecessary beast. From growing mercy and a moderate love, great love for the human animal occurs, and your great love grows and grows. So this is a poem, the Caring for Animals by Jon Silkin. So now, as usual, let us first try to understand about the poet. So Jon Silkin, he was born in the year 1930 and then he died on 1997. He was a British poet, an editor and a critic. So I don't want to go in detail with his literary works and literary achievements, but we should know that Silkin was an intense poet, a serious poet. He was nervous by nature. He wrote with a deep sense of anguish. So in this particular poem, Caring for Animals, he writes about the inhuman way human treats helpless animals. And then he cries out for a sympathetic ear and deeper understanding of all God's creatures. So structurally, let us first try to understand that this particular poem, in the textbook of class 12, you will find that the poem is divided into, altogether it should be four actually. In the first stanza there are 4 lines, in the second stanza there are 4 lines again, and in the third stanza there are 4 lines, and then in the fifth stanza there are altogether 7 lines. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, yes, altogether there are 7 lines. So this poem was divided into 4 stanzas. In the first, second and the third stanzas there are altogether 4 lines each, and in the last stanza or the fourth stanza there are 7 lines. And then the poem, it does not follow any rhyme pattern, so it is written in a blank verse. So similarly, the meter of the poem, it is written in a blank verse. It does not follow any definite or particular pattern throughout the poem. Now let us try to understand about the contents of the poem. So in the first stanza, the poem starts as, I ask sometimes. So the very first word or the very first line, I, it indicates the first person. So it becomes personal. I ask sometimes why these small animals with bitter eyes, why we should care for them. So now here the speaker or the poet, he has the question, and then he is asking about why these small animals with bitter eyes, why we should care for them. So here we can see that the small animals have bitter eyes. So what is that bitter eyes? So here bitter eyes, we have a comparison, a metaphor. These small animals have bitter eyes. So as we all know, bitter is something symbolic about negativity. But if it is sweet, then it should have shown some kind of positive symbol. But here bitter is used as a negative symbol. Bitter, or in Hindi we can call it as karwa, or in Garo ka'a. So these particular small animals have karwa eyes, karwa ake, or bitter eyes. So we can see that these small animals don't have a positive eyes. So bitter, it can here means angry, some kind of rage, R-A-G-E, rage. So the small animals, they have the bitter eyes. That means they have an angry eyes. But why? But the speaker or the poet is saying, or he is asking that why should we care for the small animals who has the angry eyes? So in order to get the answer, he questioned the sky and also the siren. Siren means very clear and calm water, blue water. But he cannot get any answer. I questioned the sky, the siren, blue water, but it cannot say, it gives no answer. So whatever is going on in his head, whatever question he has on his head, he could not get the answer. And in the second stanza, he was just wondering about his thoughts, and no answer releases in my head. He was thinking, but nothing goes inside his head, and no answer releases in my head. A procession of grey sheds patch and whimpering, dogs with clipped ears, whizzing hurt horses, a fly without shadow and without thought. And in the second stanza, we can see that while the poet or the speaker was just wondering, was just deeply, he was lost in his thoughts, in his thinking. What happened? He sees a vision. So there in a vision, he sees a great procession. There was a procession, and then this procession, it was full of gracious paths and whimpering. That means there are so much of crying voices. They were crying. The voices that were crying in low broken voice. So the procession, it was full with cries, with broken voices, grey sheds patch and whimpering, dogs with clipped ears. So there in the procession is being done by dogs whose ears are cut or clipped, who was suffering from pain, and also the cart horses. So these horses that were used in order to draw the cart, they were whizzing, they were screaming. And then a fly without shadow and without thought. So nobody cares about the fly. So the fly, its existence was completely ignored. So as if a person, if he is living, as if this person was completely dehumanized, as if his existence is not at all regarded. So similarly here, a fly whose existence is not regarded or valued on this earth. So all this procession were being done by these small animals, the poor animals, the weak animals who were suffering because they were ill-treated by humans. For example here, dogs whose ears were cut or clipped, and then the horses who were made to draw cart, and then the fly. We never ever value about the existence of the fly, so their existence was completely dehumanized or completely ignored, is not at all valued. So a fly without shadow and without thought. So these are the examples of some of small animals who has been maltreated or ill-treated or cruelly treated by humans. In the third stanza, is it with this menaces to our vision? So this vision comes menaces are threatening. Is it with this menaces to our vision, with this procession led by a man carrying wood? And then in this vision, he shows that the poet or the speaker says that this procession was being led by a man carrying wood. So who is this a man carrying wood? So here Jon Silkin has a biblical allusion. Here we have the Christian concept. So here a man carrying wood, it refers to Jesus Christ, as Jesus Christ calls himself as a good shepherd. So here, being a good shepherd, Jesus Christ, he carried a wood or a rod or a staff. And then he's asking, the poet is asking, we must be concerned. The Holy Land. Holy Land here refers to Jerusalem, where Jesus has lived. The Holy Land. The rearing green island should be kinder than this. As we all know, Jon Silkin, he was a British poet. So here green island refers to England. So he is asking the people of England to be more kindlier in treating the animals. Being a Christian, one should associate one's belief, one's practices as shown by Jesus. So we should be loving not only toward people but also toward God's creation, to animals, to birds, and so on. So he's saying Green Island, England should be kindlier than what it is now. In the fourth stanza or the last stanza, yet the animals are ghosts need tending to. So he's saying that the animals or even the ghosts, the apparition, it needs tending, it needs care. We should care each other. Therefore, in order to care, in order to show mercy, in order to show love, he's suggesting that take in the whipped cat and the blinded owl. So the cat that has been whipped, we should take it, and also the blinded owl, that bird, owl, which has been blinded. And then take up the man-trapped squirrel up on your shoulder. So he is suggesting that one should carry a squirrel on one's shoulder. And then that squirrel, for example, the squirrel that has been trapped by man. So we should show much love. So we should show much tend to these animals, small animals. Attend to the unnecessary beasts. So here in general he is saying that we should attend, we should care, we should tame every beast or any animals that we can find around, because attending to the unnecessary beasts or caring for the unnecessary beasts or animals, the mercy grows. From growing mercy and a moderate love, great love for the human animal occurs, and your love grows, your great love grows and grows. So if we show mercy toward each other, so our love, it grows and our love becomes great. So if we love these animals, if our love, it starts with animals, then our love for human beings can also occur. So here we have the paradox between human and animal. So here we have the fusion, the amalgamation, the juxtaposition of human and animal. So here human beings, but who are considered as animal. So here we means great love for the human animal occurs. If we start loving the animals, then ultimately we would also start loving the humans, who are also treated as animals, who are considered as animals, who are taken as slaves. So as we all know, before Negroes or the black people, they were considered as slaves. They were considered as animals like cattle. So the love for human beings occurs when we start loving the animals. So great love for the human animal. Human animal means human beings who are considered as animals. It occurs. So once we start loving, then our love grows, and then our great love grows and grows without any stopping. So this particular poem by Jon Silkin is all about the inhuman way we humans treat the helpless animals, the small animals. So we should show sympathy for them, because once we start loving for these helpless animals, our love for human beings occur. So I hope you like this tutorial. So this is just a simple, a concise explanation about a poem, Caring for Animals by Jon Silkin. So if you like this video, then please like and then do share. And if you have some queries or if you want to comment on this video, please do so. And then if you are still new to this channel, please subscribe and then don't forget to hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching.